So Whitney, you can tell we're going to get a look at your heart's health and arterial health, right? And when I'm done with this waveform and we analyze this, I'm then going to go back and we're going to do it a second time just to make sure we got the accurate read. So for the screen, what I can see here is this particular waveform is a little bit irregular. I've seen this before. There's an extra bounce here. This suggests to me that I may have done an inaccurate read. I don't know yet. I'm not going to tell Whitney that right now because I'm going to analyze this. This is for training purposes only. If it's all over the place like this, I need to do another screening because I have to verify, especially when you're first getting used to this, whether or not this is an accurate read. As I scroll through them, I see some, look at that one. That's much more consistent, little more erratic. But everybody's heart is going to have a little different rhythm, a little different beating, and you can see that represented on the graph. So you're not always looking for one measure. You're looking for the combination. So you can turn the camera back. As I'm reviewing you can look at this too, Whitney. You can see your CASP and your RAI. I'm first going to focus on your CASP. It's 80, 82, 84, 81, 82, 81. So I could use almost any of those. I'm now looking at what I think your best waveform, the most consistent. You can see this one is a little inaccurate or erratic, right? A little better. Kind of a high and a low. That's a little more consistent, so I like number 4. I also like number 5. That seems to be the most consistent. Number 6 is good as well. Because your CASP was between an 81 and an 84, I could probably use any of those measures to get me close. Your radial augment index is anywhere between a 70, 68, nothing, 72, 64, nothing, 59. So if I go to 4 and 5, I've got one with a 72 and one with a nothing. So I could choose to use either one. I tend to give people the one, if I'm trying to make, back up again. If I'm making a determination between one of two measures, the 72 in this example or not one, I'd rather give her one with the 72. Remember, this isn't a laser pinpointing one point. It's a range. I'd rather give you the range of the one that gives you a measure. If it doesn't show up, that means your arteries are in better health. That means that it is that of a 20-year-old or younger, which may be the case, but this is an idea of where she's at today. So I'm going to give her the reading I think is going to be help her the most. Another thing, if you look at the screen again, is that I'm also getting the blood pressure on every different waveform. So you can see that's 91 over 64, 90 over 64, 88 over 65. So the truth is that our blood pressure is always changing just a little bit depending on the moment in the 10-second frame. So you can back up again. So Whitney, you can help me with this. I'm going to use number 4. So I'm going to put number 4. And you can actually, since you're going to be going in and out here, your CASP is 84. Your radial augment index is 72. And is it true that you haven't done this before? Is this truly your first scan, or you've been scanned?
Well, I have been scanned, but
okay.
It was for training others.
For training others. So you haven't, so it's been a while. So you did get scanned? Do you remember what your initial readings were?
Those were closer to my last readings.
Okay.
Initially, they were all much higher.
Okay, so you've been read then a few times. So when you first got your reading, now this is a good example because we're going to have to do secondary and, there's going to be 2, 3, 4 scans. So the results that we get today, this is actually your 3rd reading in how long of a period of time?
Over a period of 7 months.
7 months. So this is great. So we're going to get an idea of where you are. So I'm going to put your measure down here pretty quickly. Okay, now you help me. You are 23 years old. You need to come in close so you can see what's going on. What is the average CASP for someone in your age group?
101.
What is yours?
84.
Is yours higher or lower than 101?
It is lower.
Woohoo! Okay, well you can see that you are definitely lower based on where the chart is, which suggests to me that your heart is that, like, it's got the strength and And the characteristics of someone that's less than 20. So that's a good thing. You've got a very youthful heart based on this CASP measure. Do you remember where you started with this?
It was slightly out of the age group.
Slightly out, so you were closer to like 30 to 39. Okay, so when the first measure that Whitney got, she was 30 to 39. This is now, how long since then? 7 months, you said. About 7 months. She's now 20 years younger in her heart. So that's excellent. Now let's look at your radial augment index. Back to the page, please. What's the average radial augment index for someone in your age group?
64.6.
And what is yours?
72.
Okay, so that's closer to what age?
30 to 39.
And notice that on the, this is for training purposes, I circle or I ask the question and I give them the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I let her participate in this by giving me the answer. So you can back up again. So now your radial augment index, I'm going to circle this on the page. And so you're closer to a 30 to 39-year-old in your radial augment index. And now here's another important thing. I'm going to also share with Whitney that of the series of waveforms back to the computer, I had several that were lower. I had a 59, I had a nothing, a 64, a 72, a nothing, a 68, a 70. And so, you can back up again?
Mm-hmm.
So this is important to share with Whitney so I don't scare her. It's the idea that we had to pick one of the waveforms to use. The truth is that it's not like everyone was nothing. She doesn't have 20-year-old arteries based on this read. You have arteries that have a little bit more challenges and blockages, so we still need to keep doing the product. How much of the product have you been taking consistently? Do you take one a day, 2 a day? Haven't been taking.